We're joined by attorney Shaun Naidoo to talk about some legal issues. Actually, I have a lot of questions for you, Shaun. I appreciate you coming on this morning.
Thank you, Ernie.
One of the questions that I have that's been kind of on my mind is we keep hearing a lot of people are missing work and they're getting sick with COVID even though they were vaccinated. And I'm wondering if people who were fired because they didn't get this vaccination, if they have any recourse to get their jobs back, because it doesn't seem to be making much difference regarding Omicron.
Well, it's interesting. I've been saying this for the last few months, until all of these cases got to the Supreme Court, which it finally did on Friday, and they're hearing it, this week as well, that we'll finally have clarity from the Supreme Court, which is, the Supreme Court of the land. And once they make a decision on this, then all the states will have clarity to follow. So I think it's a big week, 2 weeks that's coming up. And once that happens, we'll know what's going on. And especially since it's been 100 years since we last had a pandemic, so this is all new. And I think once they speak, the 9 justices speak, we'll know how everybody's going to handle things going forward.
Shaun, you have your own law firm here in Dallas. Do you tell the people that work for you to stay away if they have it because you're afraid if they bring it in and give it to somebody else, you can be sued? Now, the reason I ask that question is, do you think a law needs to be passed that protects companies from a lawsuit with this COVID going around? Because I don't think it's ever going to end.
Yeah, I think COVID's here to stay. And I think that, the Omicron is really showing that, in my opinion, that we're on the back end of the virus, because it's not as, as severe as the other ones have been. And I think just from an employer standpoint, you do have to take steps to protect, your other employees. And I think now in a virtual world and being virtual for 18 months and all of that there's ways that you can work around stuff and people can have it and they can still work from home for that time period. And I just think it's a new way of doing things, and we got to kind of maybe have more of a hybrid type of work environment.
Yeah.
And each company is going to be different. I don't think it's one policy across the board.
Because you have people out there looking for something they can sue somebody over. You have those kind of people. And you show up for work, and 3 days later, a person gets COVID. The guy says, okay, now here's my chance. I'm suing that company because I was perfectly healthy 2 or 3 days ago.
But, from a legal standpoint, what makes this really hard is that you can't contact trace where you got COVID from, So how do you know you got it from the workplace? How you know you didn't get it when you went to the gas station, to the grocery store, to church? Yeah. So I think those are hard cases from a legal standpoint to point just at the employer, So I think that employers are going to be safe. And I think, like I said, pandemic, 100 years since the last one, we don't know, the laws of the land haven't been interpreted on this type of magnitude. So once those justices speak, like I said, we're finally going to have clarity for all 50 states and how to go forward.
Attorney Shaun Naidoo with us on News Talk 820 WBAP.